Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's ELLIOTTWAVE Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a great week. Right, the year has not ended as yet. We are still in the second week of December and still anticipated that famous festive rally, and it looks like it is setting up as we'll be looking at the charts in the next couple of minutes. So let's check here if we're going to have that rally after all. So that's what we're going to be looking at first. So before we get started, guys, if you'd like to contact us, check out our contact details under the description of all our videos on our channel, Trading Waves. Right, so under the description of all our videos, you will find our contact details as well as the links to our social media pages. Right, we have just concluded, or we just left with 2 days of our December or the November course. We are concluding it. So if you'd like to have the course over the holidays, you are welcome to purchase the course. It's recorded on the videos on the website. So you can get the course pre-recorded and you can watch it over the holidays. You can just inquire about that on our website. Then the website is tradingwaves.com, trading-waves.com. So you make inquiries there, or you can just purchase your course there. And then the next week will be the last weekly outlook for the year. So next week, let's just confirm the date. So the next week, our last weekly outlook for the year is going to be on the 19th. After that, we are going to resume again in the next year in January the 9th. So our first weekly outlook for the year is going to be on January the 9th. So if you want to join us, we'll be resuming again our services on the 9th of January. For those that are interested only in the course, it is pre-recorded, available on the website. You can make use of that. Let's get started with the weekly outlook for today. Right, we'll start with how we forecasted the market, what we expect, how the market played out, and what we expect going into the new week in anticipation of the well-known or the famous Christmas rally. Let's have a look at how the market performed in the last week. Right, so this was the week before. This is out in New Zealand the week before. I want us to look at this one first before we start looking only in this week. I'm reading on the chat box. Eric says the course was great. Good to hear that. It's always different when we do it live and it is interactive. You get to ask questions, all those things, all the questions that you've ever wanted to ask. There is an opportunity to ask them during the course. That's why we've got the live course. As much as the course is recorded, you still need to have that interactive one day where you can ask questions. All right, let's just get to the top here. And start it right at the top. So it's last week here, so we want to start in this week today. Right, so this is where we start. I'm going to go through this again when we start with the market analysis. Let's have a look at how only on the 1 hour chart. I'm going to show you this in all time frames, from the daily all the way down to the 1 hour time frame, and how we forecasted this in the last week. So let's have a look here. EURAUD, look at how we pinpointed the reversal of this year. So as much as this was making a push to the upside, we could see that this was actually making a 3-wave correction. You need to have that eye to know that this is making a 3-wave correction. And you also need to know that how many cycles are left, or how many waves are left for this to make a reversal. We were currently in the 5th wave here, looking for this one to make the reversal. This is EURAUD, and you'll see that EURAUD has already made that push. It has already made that reversal, as you will see in the chart afterwards. So this is how EURAUD has performed. So a couple of pips already to the downside, already in profit from pinpointed here right at the top. You see here, this was the wave 5, wanted it to push to the upside. We're already coming down. So when you understand the cycle, this is how you get the trades like this. So we are now making a move to the downside. As you see here, this is the focus going into the next week. So we're expecting a pullback or a consolidation for this to continue to the downside some more. So that was the chart before. This is the chart after, and that's how the market has played out on EURAUD. Let's have a look at the next one here. So the next one here is GBPAUD. Obviously, this will be a similar trade. You'll see that this was pinpointed. I wanted to actually to see the one before. You'll actually see this one on the website. Maybe I can just show you on the website how we focus to this GBPAUD on all these time frames. Let's have a look at GBPAUD so you can see how we focus the market here. GBPAUD. There's a very interesting setup. Let's open GBPAUD. Just opening up there. There we go. Right, guys, so it looks like I'm not able to open that, but let's continue with this. I will come back to that later as we start with the market analysis. But there was EURAUD, the chart before, as you've seen, that is the chart before. This was on EURAUD. This is now on EURAUD. So this is GBPAUD. I've got GBPAUD before, and then I've got GBPAUD after chart. This is here. So we've already started with the drops. It's already made such a significant drop. You see here, this was the forecast. I wanted you to see the 4-hour chart where we forecasted this move from right here at the top, but we've got that here. So on the 1 hour, you'll see it coming down here. We've already come from 89 to about 84. It's already a 500 pip drop in just a couple of hours here. Now we're looking for this to consolidate to the downside. That is GBPAUD. So just to give you a picture again, that is before and that is after on GBPAUD. Right, let's have a look at the rest of the chart for the week. That was GBPAUD, very nice chart here. GBPCAD, let's have a look at GBPCAD chart before. So this is how we focused the chart before. We wanted to get these 3 waves here. We wanted to get these 3 waves and the continuation to the downside here on GBPCAD. So let's have a look at how GBPCAD has played out. We've already got a start of the move to the upside as far as GBPCAD is concerned. The move to the upside has already started. This is the move to the upside. So we already got this 3 wave here. This is the 3 waves that we're looking for. This is the 3 waves, and we're currently in the move to the downside. Pullback here, we should see GBPCAD continue to the downside. All right, let's look at the others. Pound Chief. I mean, Pound Chief, we've just been selling Pound Chief for the last couple of days. Every time this makes a push to the upside, we just sell it. So look at this one here. This was a 3-wave move here on the B degree here, and it actually makes a textbook entry here for more downside. And this is how Pound Chief has played out. This has been easy pips because we knew that the Pound Chief and all the Chief pairs, or the pairs that have got a Chief as the quoted currency, have been on a downtrend for the last couple of months. So that is a Pound Chief. It's already dropped from here. So that is the move that we expected. There is the 3 waves here. That is the drop that we expected there. As you can see here, this is 26 here on Pound Chief. So we were looking for this one to drop to the downside already at 22. That's a 400 pip drop already. So just to give you a perspective again on Pound Chief, this is the chart before. That is the 3 waves in purple. Look at this here, the purple 3 waves. This is the focus, 1, 2, 3. Need to show it with the right color. This is the 1, 2, 3 waves in the white degree there, and then we're looking for that drop. So it was to complete this B in purple. That is the B in purple. Look out for that B in purple. That is the 3 waves that we're looking for here. Already dropped 400 pips on Pound Chief. Easy trade here. We are currently in the blue box, but all we're expecting here is simply a 3-wave pullback. This will still continue to the downside. It is not ready for a reversal as yet. That is Pound Chief, right? And then next one is AUD New Zealand on the 1 hour. Look at how we focused at the blue box here on AUD New Zealand. The blue box is a powerful reversal area. We've got that 3 waves there. Looking for this one to make a reversal into the blue box, goes into the blue box and pushes to the upside as follows. That was AUD New Zealand. Let's have a look there. Now, AUD New Zealand has focused it, pushes into the blue box and makes a reversal. How do we know? That's because the blue box is a powerful reversal area, and we looked for this one to reverse there. And we're still looking for this one to push to the upside into the coming week as well. That was AUD New Zealand. rather New Zealand CAD. So New Zealand CAD, a textbook blue box setup here. We wanted it to just push slightly into the blue box and continue to the downside. And this is how this one has played out. Look at that. Into the blue box, right into the blue box, and then drop as forecasted. These are the blue box, and then we'll drop already a couple of 100 pips there. So just again, to give you perspective on that one, before the blue box, we wanted it to push into the blue box. How do we know that it's going to reverse there? That's because the blue box is a powerful reversal area. It is our proprietary strategy there. So we pushed into the upside and then drop. Okay, so that is New Zealand CAD. We're still expecting this to continue lower. We're currently looking for this one to consolidate again and continue to the downside. Right, so that was a very nice one here on New Zealand CAD. Let's have a look here. Now the indices, guys, we have been focusing the new indices deep correction, which we eventually got, and most of these setups have given us blue boxes. Look at the UK 100 textbook blue box setup here. We could see that it was in the blue box. We wanted it to push to the upside, as you will see with the rest of the indices, exactly all of them focused from the blue box and the reversals. We're going to look at the structure as we go on. So there was still the chart before. I want you to see the chart after here on the UK 100. It's actually not showing me the chart before. Let me just show you what happened with the UK 100. Let's just go to the chart, UK 100, the live chart here, so you can see what has already happened here. So that is the blue box area. Let's show it on the 1 hour to see here. Let's have a look here. So there was that blue box. Just don't have the link for it there. So the blue box here, focused here, you can see already a couple of points to the upside here on the UK 100. This whole move here, focused because this one went into the blue box. Now it's making a move to the upside. These are 1, 2, 3, 4. We're still expecting another leg to the upside into the next week. All right, let's have a look at the next one, the NASDAQ. You could not get the UK 100 right and get the NASDAQ wrong. Look at this one here. We're looking for this one to push back here, get us the blue box here, wave 2, and push to the upside. Now that is how this one has played out. NASDAQ, the chart after, right into the blue box as focused. Now we're looking for this one to continue to the upside. Okay, again, just to give you perspective, the chart before, we wanted to get one more down and a push to the upside. We get that one more down, and then push to the upside. That's how well we understand the market. That is the NASDAQ. S&P 500, easy setups here, 1, 2, 3, and a push to the upside, exactly as the NASDAQ. This is how this one has played out as focused. These are all the charts that members get before the moves, okay? Almost 52 instruments that we've got, 1, 2, 3 on the S&P 500. That is how we got that one to the upside. Again, just to give you perspective, that was the chart before. We wanted one more push to the downside, which we got, push to the downside into the blue box and push to the upside. That's how easy the indices have been in the last couple of days. All right, so let's get started with the market analysis. What do we expect of the market going forward? That is how the market has played out in the last week. That's all history now. We'll look into the new week. So let's just clean this up and start looking at the market for the new week. Right, let's clear this up here. Right, now we start with the US dollar. Press the DXY. Let's have a look at the DXY. I'm going to go to the 4 hour. Rather, let's start with the daily chart. What do you see when you see the daily chart here? Let's go to the daily chart. It almost looks so obvious. This is the DXY. When I look at this, this looks almost so obvious. We're going to get a move. We already got a move to the downside. We've got a move up here. We're looking for this to come down here and a push to the upside. But there's a detailed structure here internally, which I'm going to show you shortly. So we are expecting this to come down here and a push to the upside to give us a three-way structure and a push to the upside. Okay, so let's have a look here at the detailed structure on the 4 hour. Now, if you want to be able to read the market like this, like we'll see it, you need to attend the course so we can have this perspective that we have. Now, I'm going to clear this so you can see why we're expecting a leg to the downside and a leg to the upside. That move will not be complete as yet. So let's have a look here. So what we have seen and what we've been talking about in this, as far as this structure is concerned, is that this has made a move down here in 3 waves. If you look at the green candle, there's a green candle here. That is a move to the upside. Now there's a red candle there. We don't ignore that red candle. That candle is a move to the downside. So as much as these are spikes, these are part of the market structure. So we expect this to continue. So this is a move to the upside. We've got this one one is a three waves. We were expecting this one to make a continuation move to the downside here as follows. Only then will that green degree be complete. So we want to see a complex structure here, okay, a complex zigzag here with a complex B correction in the green degrees like that, and then we're going to get a move to the downside like this. So that means we're still going to be a bit more sideways. So that is why we're expecting that in this week, we expect the DXY to continue to the downside just for this move to complete here. And all of that will give us a WXY corrective structure and a move to the upside, completing this bigger one here. Bigger corrective structure here. So if you wanted to label the lower degrees, you would say this one is a passing move here, it's a B here, it's an A, B, C corrective structure here, the green degree, and so forth. So I'm not going to go into the detail of that. So you should be able to see what we're looking at here. We're looking for this to continue down, a bounce to the upside, and a move to the downside. That is the DXY, continuation to the downside, and we'll expect a bounce from around that level. Looking at a euro US dollar, let's have a look at the details. Same, exactly the same. Let's show that in purple degree again. We've got a move up here in three waves. That red candle is a move to the downside. Okay, now that red candle went back up again. Again, we're going to use the green degree here. It's a move up here. It's a move down here. That green degree is incomplete. So that's three waves to the upside. And we're looking for this one to make another three waves to the upside to complete the green degree as follows. Now we're going to have this one completing the green degree. The purple degree should then come in and complete as follows. Again, we expect this one to be a bit more sideways before they move to the downside. So we are still bearish the euro. So that green degree will then complete as follows. Let's have a look here at the green degree. Let's get the annotation. That will be the green degree, that will be the green degree. And eventually we'll be looking for the whole WXY structure in purple to complete to the downside. That's how we're looking at the market here. A bit more sideways, and then we'll look for continuation to the downside. Pound US dollar. Now, pound US dollar expects the following. One, this is a move to the upside. This is a move back here. We're looking for this one to be a corrective structure, push to the upside. So that means we're going to have short-term dollar weakness just to complete this corrective structure in the next week before this continues to the downside. So we'll be looking for this one to make a push to the upside. You've seen this divergence here on the RSI here. So that is a move to the downside. There's been divergence from around this area. Actually, there's been divergence for a while here as far as pound is concerned. From here, pound has been making divergence from around this level here. As much as this one is making lower lows, pound has been making divergence, but that divergence should just be to get us that corrective structure. If it is not only that corrective structure, we'll have a deeper one like this, but otherwise we are still bearish pound US dollar. Remember the structure on pound US dollar on the daily. We're still looking for this one to give us a deeper corrective structure. We already started a move to the downside, and we're looking for this one to give us a deeper corrective structure here before the drop to the downside. Okay, so that is at the daily on pound US dollar. Let's have a look at the US dollar CAD. Now, US dollar CAD is pushing to the upside. We've got this structure here. I'm on the daily. Let's have a look here on the daily. So on the daily on pound CAD, we've got three waves to the upside, a pullback here in three, and a move to the upside. We're expecting this here. I've shown this a couple of times in these webinars. 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 back. We're expecting 1, 2, 3 to the upside before the drop. And all of that will give us a WXY corrective structure in purple before the drop. So there's a possibility for this to be a WXY structure, or this could be making a wave 3 to the upside. But we're not worried about that. We want to take it up to this level. At this level, we'll decide what happens with this move here. So let's have a look here in the lower degree. What are we getting here as far as pound CAD is concerned? We've got a pullback here. This pullback can eventually do a three-way structure like this and a push to the upside. Okay, let me see here if I can still open it here. I hope this can be done now. Let's have a look here at the website. Let's see here if I can open it. If it doesn't work, then we'll just look at the live chat here. Okay, we're still offline there. All right, so but let's have a look here in the lower degree and see how this is playing out. So this is playing out for a move to the upside. There's a possibility this one gives us a three-wave pullback here, a move back here, and upside. Another possibility that is likely to happen is that this has already made an expanding flat and it's ready for a move to the upside. Okay, either way, we're going to get confirmation from around this level. Now, what I wanted to show you from the side, because we cannot open it right now, is this here. Let's have a look here on the daily chart. Rather, let's have a look at this on the weekly chart. I think I've shown you this here. Checked US dollar CAD in the long term on the weekly. There's a possibility that this is already starting a big move to the upside. It's just this has been too deep for us to be a move to the upside, but it doesn't matter. We've got 3 waves down here. We've got 3 waves up here. We've got an impulse. This is a textbook flat correction, guys. So we could be starting a move to the upside, a big move to the upside, provided this does not make a 3-wave structure here, because that's still a possibility for this to make one more down before we push to the upside. So we'll take it one wave at a time. First, we'll take it for a couple of 100 pips to around this level. If we see that this is the indicator is still confirming upside, then we're going to continue to buy this to the upside to even higher than 1.45. That is US dollar CAD, US dollar CHF. Okay, US dollar CHF is showing weakness because of the rest of the pairs. Like I said, or like I've been saying over the last couple of days, all the pairs that have got a CHF in them are showing bearish moves. So let's just show you the weekly structure here on the US dollar CHF. 1, 2, 3. We're looking for this one to give us a move to the downside here. 1, 2, 3. So that's what we're looking at, a continuation to the downside. Let's go to the 4-hour. US dollar CHF 4-hour. That is the move. We're still looking for this one to have made 1, 2, 3, and this one to continue to the downside. So we are still bearish US dollar CHF. We're looking for that structure to complete. So a confirmation of the move to the downside here on the US dollar CHF. We'll see this one push lower. All right, so that's what we have there on US dollar CHF. Audi US dollar. Okay, so let's have a look at all Audi US dollar in New Zealand. We have got these pulsing moves to the upside. These are not reversals. This is a pulsing move up. We're looking for this one to make a push, a pullback here, and a possibility for this to make a 3-wave structure before we drop. Now, this structure may not be a straight, this structure may not be a straight line. We may get this one pulling back like that and continuing to the upside like that. Okay, so that's what we'll be looking at there on Audi US. Right, so the pullback on Audi US dollar will be similar to the pullback that we're getting on the New Zealand. So the New Zealand also, this is not an aggressive move. This is a pullback. So we could be getting this one to push to the upside and giving us this corrective structure. This will be an opportunity to sell it more to the downside, exactly what we're expecting with the Audi. So we are still bearish. So any move to the upside is an opportunity to sell on both in Audi and New Zealand US dollar. US dollar ZAR. Now, US dollar ZAR, we'll be looking at this corrective structure. Remember, last week we were currently here. We expected this one leg to the downside and a push to the upside. We're currently consolidating here. We expect this to continue to the upside. So that is a textbook 3-wave zigzag here, WXY corrective structure, pulsing move to the upside, consolidation here. We'll be looking for US dollar ZAR to push to the upside. That's bad news for the South African rand, because this is still going to show some more weakness. Okay, so that is US dollar ZAR. That's what we're looking for, to what we're looking at and into the next week. Pound yen. We're looking for simply this to give us, this is a pulse move to the upside. This is a pullback here. We're looking for pound yen to push to the upside. This, like pound US dollar, a push to the upside is only an opportunity to sell it some more to the downside. Remember, the bigger structure on pound yen is downside. Just to give you a reminder on the bigger structure here on pound yen. So this is the structure. We want to see this continue to the downside here. This is coming down in what looks like 5 waves. This is a 4th wave. We're looking for this one to push to the downside. Again, like I've been saying over the last couple of days, this structure needs to be invalidated for us to confirm that this is going to drop for a couple of 100 pips to the downside, or if it's going to make one more move to the upside first before the drop. Now, this could make an expanding flat and push to the upside. There's a very likelihood for that. So even if we do get this push back to around this level, we'll be looking to sell pound for a couple of 100 pips to the downside because of this bigger corrective structure here. This is the bigger structure that we're looking at on the daily. Okay, there's a bigger structure we're looking at on the daily, but we are very likely to do that. But we need to see if we're not going to get that first. Either way, we're going to get it before the move starts. Right, US dollar yen is showing us a bearish move here. On the daily, look at this here. We'll be looking for this one to have made a 3-wave pullback here. We're looking for US dollar ZAR to continue to the downside, push to the downside like that. Let's come back to the lower time frame here on the 4-hour. Now the 4-hour on US dollar yen. This is a clear 1, 2, 3 waves to the upside, and now we're starting to drop here. This is a continuation pattern for more downside. We should see this one push to the downside into the next week, at least around this area. So this is a clear ABC move there. So that's an ABC move, and we'll be looking for this one to drop like that. So that's our US dollar yen, euro yen. Now, euro yen also showing a bearish move here on the 4 hour. So last week we looked for this one to pull back in 3, which already got there. This was 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves. So a clear 3-wave structure here, giving us a 4 hour sell setup here. 1 hour setup here, you look to sell this to the downside. Okay, you just need to be careful of the divergence on the euro, because so we've got this one here. We still want to see this one here push to the downside, but we've got divergence. This divergence needs to be invalidated, and it looks like it's already being invalidated here. We've got a 3-wave structure here. We're looking for this one to push to the downside. We'll be looking for this one to drop. So that is what we're looking at on the euro yen. I'm not going to go to the bigger structure. I think if you want to look at that, go look at the previous videos. CHF yen also has made a nice 3-wave pullback here with a correction here in the middle, so giving us a complex corrective structure here. Now we're looking for this one to drop. Okay, so we're looking for this one to drop like that on CHF yen. But again, we need to be careful of this divergence. If this divergence is intact, we may see this one make at least a push to the upside like that before the drop. So that means we may get a corrective structure here like this, double correction to come around this level before the drop. Okay, so watch out for that. Whichever one confirms first, we'll be looking for that. Very clear structures, however. AUD yen, just like AUD US dollar, remember we've got the impulse on AUD US dollar. We've got a similar structure here. We're looking for this one to pull back in the next coming days here. Any push to the upside, we're looking for an opportunity to sell it. Okay, we're still bearish on AUD yen. We're still bearish on New Zealand yen. Again, just like New Zealand US dollar, this one is not aggressive. So we could be looking for this one to give us a structure like this. Let's have a look. We could be looking for this one to give us a structure like this, pull back here and move up here and a drop. So we're looking for just a corrective structure to continue to the downside there on New Zealand. CAD yen, similar. CAD yen has already made what looks like an expanding flat and looks like it's already on its way to the downside. So even 1 hour setups here, we look to take them to the downside. Okay, gold. Let's have a look at gold. So gold, the structure that we're expecting here is a move back, it's a move back, it's a move up here. We're looking for a deeper corrective structure to around these levels to sell this. Remember the bigger structure here on the 4 hour even. Let's have a look here on gold on the 4 hour. Very strong, very clear structure on gold on the 4 hour. We've got to move back up. We've got to move up here in the white degree. We've got to move down here. Let's use purple. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Guys, I'm just using purple because it is more visible. I'm not following our degree and the color coding here. Right, so we've got this one, looking for this one to push back here in 3 waves as well. Will this 3-wave start here before the drops? There's a possibility that we've got that 3 waves that I was showing you earlier on, that this could be the one here, and then we drop similar to what we have here, similar to what we have there, and we look for gold to push to the downside. So similarly, gold should pull back here in 3 as well. So we're expecting gold to, or rather silver, to give us a 3-wave pullback here before the move to the downside. We are still bearish. We just want to see this one continue lower. Platinum, same. Platinum is pretty much bullish or rather bearish. So we've got this as a 3-wave move to the upside. It's coming down here in 3. We'll be looking for platinum to at least come down to this level. There's a possibility for platinum to just go down straight there or give us a bounce back here, make a flat, and continue to the downside. Whichever way structure is going to happen here, we'll get confirmation here before the pullback or the drop. Right, so that is platinum. Brent crude oil. Brent crude oil is making that deeper corrective structure. So have a look here. We've made that deeper corrective structure here on Brent crude oil. That is an impulsive move to the downside. That is an impulse in the lower degree. We could be getting this one to do that and drop again before we push to the upside. Will it just push to the upside like that? That's what remains to be seen after we've got the pullback. So we want to see the pullback here first. If we're taking the trade here, we'll be taking it back to around this level. Then we'll be anticipating the drop first before we push to the upside on oil. All right, so that's what we're looking at. We were anticipating a deeper correction. Let me just show you there on the daily why. On oil, we're expecting a deeper pullback. So oil, look at that structure. This is a running flat. This is a zigzag. we're looking for this one to be making 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This could be a complete wave 5, and we'll be looking for this one to drop like this. We may even be deeper and push back to around the 43 levels before we push to the upside. But we'll take it one wave at a time on oil before we get that move. So let's have a look at how that plays out over the next coming days. Pound AUD, you've already seen Pound AUD, how we focused the move here. You saw this one during trade recaps. We focused on this one to reverse exactly there. We're currently down here about 400 pips. We're looking for this one to consolidate and continue lower. I'm not even going to go through that again. Pound New Zealand, you saw how we focused this one here to reverse exactly here and drop. This is a pullback. We're expecting this one to continue lower. So also focus it pinpointed right here at this level. How did we know that this is going to reverse at that level? That's because of the structure, the cycle, and the sequence that we use. Pound CAD, you've also seen this one here. The three-wave pullback that I've shown during trade recaps, just refer to the trade recap on Pound CAD, how we're looking at that one. So Pound CAD, we'll be looking at this one to be making a possible structure like this, back to around this level. And then we'll be looking for a drop. All right, so Pound Chief, all the pairs that have got a chief in them are still bearish, guys. No sign of reversal as yet. This could push to the upside here to around this level, pull back here, make a complex structure like that. Then we have ABC correctly structure. Okay, we'll be looking for ABC and then the drop again. This has been obvious. You saw this during the trade recap, how we focused this one from the B wave here. Just have a look at why this is a B wave here from the trade recaps. Then the drop here over 400 pips to the downside on Pound Chief. We're still expecting that move to continue. Right, euros. Let's go to the euros. Euros, this is showing us a bearish move. We've been looking for this one to push much up higher, but currently we are going to expect this one to give us consolidation and a move to the downside. At least that is what the indicator is showing us. It's showing us that we're not going to push to the upside, but rather we're going to make one more move to the downside. Okay, that is a euro pound, euro AUD. You've seen this one during trade recaps, focused it with a three-wave structure around this level, as indicated during trade recaps. We're expecting this to continue lower. I'm not going to repeat that. The euro New Zealand, same. Let's have a look at Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, same. This looks like a trade setup here. We could push slightly up here, and we'll be looking for Euro New Zealand to push lower here. We've got this one here as a expanding flat with a extended leg. See there, we'll be looking for this one to consolidate and drop to the downside. Okay, let's see how that goes into the new week. EuroCAD, just like Pound CAD, is also pushing to the upside with this three-wave structure here. We should see this one push slightly higher, but we'll expect this one to drop around this level here after that move. EUROCHIF, another one. We've already talked about EUROCHIF. It is making a move up here. This looks like a corrective structure. We can see one leg to the upside, and then we'll look for a drop. Okay, so that is on the 4-hour. Out in New Zealand, you've already seen this one. This is still bullish. You saw this one from the blue box pushing to the upside. Any pullback here, whether it makes a three-wave structure, we'll be looking for an opportunity to buy it. You don't sell this one. Look for pullback, a decent pullback, 4-hour structure, a trade on the 4-hour. That's when you're going to buy it. Okay, AUDCAD, you've seen this one during trade recaps. Okay, we're just looking for this one to make a three-wave pullback here. And this could actually just reverse from current levels. If it doesn't, we're going to get this one here. Still bearish on New Zealand CAD, or rather AUDCAD. AUDCHIF, another one with a chief in it. It's a pullback here. It's a move to the upside here. We'll expect this one to still drop. If we push to the upside, we're going to get that. Otherwise, we can just reverse from current levels. New Zealand CAD, you also saw this one during trade recaps. This one is showing us a bearish move. This is not going to reverse from current levels. 1, 2, 3 should continue to the downside. That's how we're looking at the crosses. New Zealand CHIF, another one with a chief in it. Still bearish, the chief pairs. 1, 2, 3 drop. That's what we're expecting on New Zealand CHIF. Continuation to the downside. CAD CHIF. Right, CADJPY, still continuation to the downside. So what we're expecting with the rest of the pairs, we're expecting that this makes these sharp moves and then the reversal. That is what the indicator is showing us on all of them. So we'll be looking for this one to continue to the downside. Look at this structure. This is a three-wave structure. This is a three-wave structure. Now we're looking for another three-wave structure here. If we look at that here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, we're looking for the last leg to the downside for this to complete here in a WXY fashion, WXY. So that's why we are still bearish CADJPY. And that's all on the Forex and the commodity space. Let's have a look at the indices, guys. The indices you've already seen. We are bearish, bullish rather, the indices. You've already seen the blue box trade setups. So we are simply looking for these blue box trade setups to continue to push to the upside. 1 hour, 4 hour setups is continuation to the upside. The Dow Jones, you've already seen this one as well. Dow Jones, we focus on this one from the blue box. We're expecting this to continue to the upside. Just refer to those trade recaps. I'm not going to repeat them. It's the same thing. NASDAQ, we've gone through this one as well. Focus it from the blue box. Expect this to push to the upside. That was a 3-wave structure. Actually, this one has got a running flat in the middle. Textbook running flat, 3-wave, blue box, continuation pattern here. Look for this to push to the upside into the new week. That is the NASDAQ UK 100. You saw this one. This was on the blue box. We've got this one from the blue box here. 1, 2, 3. Looks like a 4, and we're looking for a 5 before we get a deeper pullback and continuation to the upside. Okay, so the DAX, the same, is giving us a move up here in 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Look for the DAX to push up here like that. If we're going to get a pullback, it should be a deeper one like that before we push to the upside. That's how simple the indices have been over the last couple of days. The Nikkei. Now, the Nikkei could be the only one that's showing us a different structure, and I've been showing this structure for a while. Let's repeat the structure so you don't forget it while you track the Nikkei. So the last bid here, let's start here, 1, 2, 3. That is what we're expecting. And the lower degree here, fractals 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is a possibility before the Nikkei pushes to the upside for this textbook flat correction here. That's going to give us a WXY corrective structure. Simple structure really on the Nikkei. Right, so that is the Nikkei and the Nifty. Nifty textbook 3-wave structure. Is it going to give us a 3-way or it's going to give us an 11-swing sequence? This is 1, 2, 3 so far, but this looks like it's going up in 3 waves. If it's going up in 3 waves, we could be getting a WXY corrective structure like that. So let's watch this 3-wave structure here on the Nifty. That's all on the Forex and commodities as well as the indices. If you're looking for the crypto webinar, you can stay on. It's going to be done in the next 5 minutes. And you can also, if you're watching on the video, you can just check out the crypto video on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up, guys, if you like our content. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. And hit that bell notification button so that you get an alert next time we upload a video. We'll see you for the last webinar next week. Have a great week, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye.